Good
morning. Okay, Grandmama. Wait a second.
Go ahead, honey.
I've got a request for what you're cooking today.
Yes, he
One
does.
of my friends has been sick with pneumonia, and I wanted you to cook him a cracking crust pound cake.
Yes.
So that he can have strawberries and pound cake. We got strawberries, and we're going to soon have pound cake, and so we can take it over to Wendell later today.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and I am going to do that for you. All right. If y'all love church cookbooks like I do, this is called Heavenly Delights, and it is from the church where I grew up. I went there my whole life until I got married. I got married in this church, and it's Mount Calvary Baptist Church, and it's in Cary, Georgia. So this is called Crunch Pound Cake. Roy calls it Crackling Crunch Pound Cake. It makes its own crust as it cooks. There's only 6 ingredients. It's a very simple, easy pound cake. You start it off in a cold oven, and that's what makes the little crunchy crust that's on top. And I'm going to be making more recipes in this book. I'm going to try to take some of them and revise them and make them gluten-free, sugar-free, low-carb. But some of them I will use just exactly like they are. Now, I first heard of this pound cake from my cousin, Jeanette Howell, who lived up the street. But in this cookbook, Janice Floyd, it's the recipe that she put in here. And she used to be my neighbor right across the road. And she's moved to the mountains, and I envy that. She did that about 2 or 3 years ago, and she loves it. So, but I do a lot in this cookbook right here. All it calls for is 1 cup of shortening, and I've got Crisco. I've got butter Crisco. I didn't have regular Crisco. 2 cups of sugar, 6 medium eggs, 2 cups of cake flour. I did not have cake flour. So if you're making a cake and it calls for cake flour, you can take 1 cup of all-purpose flour, take 2 tablespoons out, and then put 2 tablespoons of cornstarch in it. So you've only got 1 cup when you get through. And that's what I did. And it calls for 1 teaspoon of lemon extract, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. That's the whole cake. So I'm going to put my shortening.
This is going to be a high test cake.
Oh yeah, it's high test. It's high test.
Yeah.
And it calls for 2 cups of sugar. So I'm going to measure this out for y'all. Now, when I bake, I am precise. When I cook, I am not. But when I bake, I am. I go right by, especially a cake or something like that. I go right by the recipe the first time. But this cake, I've made it for years. My mama made it. Everybody in the Cary community where I live, they know about this cake. It was kind of always at a church function. So it is a no-fail recipe. All right. So I'm going to cream this butter and sugar. It says cream it on medium. And while that's creaming, now you have to sift your flour 3 times. And I've already sifted mine twice. And it calls for 6 medium eggs. So while that's mixing behind me, I'm going to crack my eggs. And I always crack them in a separate bowl. For one thing, these are yard eggs. Philip, my son-in-law, he has chickens and he keeps me an eggs. So, especially with yard eggs, I always crack them in a separate bowl. My mixer makes a lot of noise, but I don't think you can hear it. Because for some reason our mic doesn't pick up noises. Okay. I wiped my fingers on that towel, so I threw it over there to put in the washing machine because it had eggs on it. All right. I'm going to scrape this down. All right. I'm going to turn it up a little bit and let it finish creaming. All right. Now I need 2 cups of this cake flour right here. Okay. And if y'all don't know how to, I always spoon my flour into my cup like this, and that makes it a little bit more airy. Now I measured this before I sifted it, and the recipe didn't say do that. I mean to measure it before or after. So you always have a little bit less, you always have a little bit more flour left after you sift it. So I don't know if I need to use the rest of that or not. It didn't say, it just says sift flour 3 times. Okay. I've got probably 1/4 of a cup left. I'm not going to use that. If it doesn't turn out this time, then that's okay. All right. Now this is my 3rd time of sifting. And if you don't have one of these little sifters, get you one. They're awesome. All right. Now we're going to start adding our eggs one at a time. All right. You can come right here, baby. Okay. My butter and sugar are creamed together. So I'm going to add my eggs one at a time. Put them over here. Okay. And scrape it down. Get that off the sides so it'll mix in good. All right. Calls for 1 teaspoon of lemon extract, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. This is homemade vanilla here. Well, that was probably 1.5 teaspoons, so it may have a little too much lemon flavor. But that's all right. I'm going to put a little bit more vanilla. You can add to, but you can't take away, y'all. We're going to put strawberries with this, so it may be a little lemony, but that's okay. All right, now we're going to add our flour. And I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. All right, I'm going to keep adding this. I'll be back when I get all the flour incorporated.
You're on, Grandmama.
Okay. It is, I've incorporated my flour. I've beat it until it's well Now, this is not a big cake. This is kind of a little cake. And I have sprayed, I didn't have any Baker's Joy, but I have sprayed this pan with some cooking spray. So, hopefully it will not stick. I usually, when I bake, I usually have Baker's Joy, but I don't today, so.
Well, my friend Wendell is not a real big man, so this will be enough cake for him.
All right.
Now, did you say you had turned this into a lemon pound cake?
Oh my. It's going to be all right when it gets ready, when it gets done. Yeah, have a little bit more lemon flavor. But y'all don't measure over your batter.
That's a lesson learned, isn't it?
Yeah, measure it. Not over your batter, but measure it, yeah. Because I've done that more than once. It's okay. It would have been fine if it was vanilla, but it was lemon, so it's a little bit more lemony than I like. But you know what? That's okay. I like lemon and strawberries together. All right. Now, I'm just going to even it out some, like this.
Oh, that's going to be pretty. It's already pretty to me.
Oh, yeah. It is.
I love pound cake. I just don't eat it now because of carbs.
When I do cake, I just kind of do that. Kind of lets the air bubbles come out. Now, my oven is not on.
Cold oven. That's unusual.
Cold oven. I am going to put it on 300 degrees. All right. And we're going to cook it an hour and 15 minutes. Sorry. That's an hour and 15 minutes. I just set my timer. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all in an hour and 15 minutes with our hopefully crunchy, crackling pound cake. Okay, y'all. I want y'all to look at my pound cake.
I think you surprised me. It came out cracked and pretty, Rose.
Cracked and pretty. I'm not going to take it out right now because it has to cool for like 15 or 20 minutes. But when I put it on...
You can see the cracks in it right there.
Oh, yeah.
It'll crack worse once you start taking it out, won't it?
It will. So, but I will have a picture of it when you pull up my, what'd you call it, honey? Crunchy pound cake.
Cracked. Crust. Pound cake.
Crust. Pound cake.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it is. And I took my toothpick. It's perfectly done. And if you touch it,
it starts cracking.
It's hard. So it makes its own crust. So food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. Make this delicious pound cake. I'll have the recipe down in the description box. 6 ingredients, very easy, very simple. You will love it.
And I got to go to the garden and get the fresh strawberries to take.
That's right.
Pound cake and strawberries and spring. Man, that's my number.
Love y'all. See you next time.